Two young thugs suddenly threw a bottle of acid onto the school's most popular girl. But no one at the scene dared to point out who did it because the thug's father was the local crime boss. Just then, a girl in a school uniform stepped forward. She bravely pointed straight at the real attacker. The police immediately slapped the thug hard, then dragged him away like a chicken and took him to the station. But on Xiaolan's way home, the thug's friends stopped her. They pulled out a fruit knife and slashed at her face. Terrified, Xiaolan ran home to tell her father. But her father was deaf and mute and couldn't help her, so he decided to send her to a martial arts school. After 7 days and nights of intense training, Xiaolan became a girl warrior who could fight 100 people alone. A few days later, she ran into the thug again. She dropped her backpack and slapped him across the face. Before he could react, she slapped him again. Then she kicked him so hard that he flew far away. Realizing he wasn't her match, the thug decided to play dirty. He pulled out another bottle of acid from under his seat, but just as he was about to throw it, Xiaolan grabbed his wrist. She chopped down on his hand, and the acid splashed onto his own face. The thug died on the spot in pain. But because his father was the crime boss, Xiaolan was sent to prison. She stayed there for 8 long years. When she was finally released, her father had already passed away, and the gang leader's power had grown even stronger. Xiaolan had no choice but to move to another city. Now, she only wanted to study quietly. But during lunch, the school bully girl intentionally knocked over her food. Xiaolan didn't want trouble, so she stayed silent. But the bully saw her silence as weakness and brought more people to scare her again. Xiaolan pretended to be afraid and begged them to let her go, but the bully didn't care. With no other choice, Xiaolan started fighting. 5 minutes later, all the bullies were lying on the ground. The bully girl was so shocked, she moved aside and let Xiaolan pass. But Xiaolan didn't know a much bigger problem was coming. A group of police officers were doing a sting operation when a black rat ran past them. They checked the nearby car and found the owner barely alive. Then they opened the trunk and discovered $10 billion in cash. Greed took over. They wanted to keep the money for themselves. But the car owner suddenly woke up and saw the police taking his money. He quickly called for help. The police leader, Sang Biao, panicked. He picked up an iron bar and struck the man. To cover up the truth, he made the whole thing look like a traffic accident. At home, Sang Biao told his men to handle the aftermath. But he didn't know his girlfriend had secretly recorded everything. She even called 2 friends to help her blackmail him. But when they learned who Sang Biao was, they ran away in fear. When she returned to the table, she found the camera missing. Meanwhile, Sang Biao heard from his men that he had been recorded. He rushed to confront his girlfriend. She said she didn't know where the camera went. Angry, Sang Biao killed her and staged it as a suicide. But a sharp-eyed female officer noticed something was wrong. The back of the girl's head had a clear injury. At the same time, Xiaolan found a bag outside her dorm. Inside was the missing camera. 2 officers walked by, saw the camera, and thought Xiaolan had stolen it. They returned it to Sang Biao.